So there it is, the Tesla Model 3, the game-changing car for Tesla. We have some massive news out today. When I saw this, I was almost shocked. I was like, I can't even believe, even as somebody that's a Tesla bull, I can't even believe what is happening. But I still remember when the Model 3 came out, it was the game-changing product that made me actually start to take Tesla serious as a possible investment. That was the game-changing product. And I'm thankful enough, like a couple years ago, I actually got in this one, and you know, we're doing all right on it. Let's just put it that way, okay? We're doing all right. But there's some huge news today, like literally just broke like 2 hours ago, about the Tesla Model 3, and I want to explain why this news is so vitally important, because this is not just like something you brush to the side. This is game-changing type stuff, and if you're talking about Tesla's valuation, you can definitely begin to understand why Tesla is valued the way Tesla is valued, okay? By the way, I own a Tesla Model 3, and I absolutely love that car. That's what got me into the Tesla products. That was the first Tesla I ever bought. Now I actually own a Model X. It's getting wrapped. I'm actually going to pick it up later today. Sure, I'll do some IG stories today, so if you want to follow me on the gram, go ahead and do that. I'll show you once that baby's wrapped. But the Model 3 was a product that got me in. That was a product that, you know, I first tried, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I'll never drive a gas vehicle again, okay? This is the massive news, okay? Tesla Model 3 beats Honda Civic. Honda Civic as top selling car in California. Are you flipping my flapjacks? The Model 3 just took down the Honda Civic as a top selling car in California. The Honda Civic starts up around $20K. The Honda Civic is a legendary car in the United States of America and pretty much around the world, right? Look at that. I mean, we're not even talking about even remotely close to the same price brackets. This is shocking news, okay? Absolutely shocking for it to beat a Honda Civic. This is a clear sign that there's a change of guard going on, and electric vehicles, and specifically Tesla, are coming for them all. If it wasn't already beginning to get clear to you, I think something like this in your mind should just be like, this is clear, cut, and dry. The Tesla Model 3 is coming for all these guys, and Tesla in general is coming for all these guys, okay? Let me explain why this is such huge news, okay? So first off, we look at the top 5 vehicles in California that were sold in Q1 of 2020, okay? Look at that. Literally, Model 3 beat the Honda Civic, the Toyota Camry, the Toyota Corolla, and the Honda Accord. Vehicles that you just could never have predicted that there would be any auto manufacturer that would produce a vehicle that would beat those guys. I mean, those guys, you know, if you look back, you know, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, they've just been dominant. They've been up there for years and years, and it's just like, you know, man, maybe they'll just be up there forever until this random car company that came out of nowhere called Tesla comes out with a Model 3 and it beats all the establishment. You couldn't make this stuff up. Like, no way. Okay, no way. And here's the thing that bears have always told us in regards to Tesla stock, or just some folks that are negative around Tesla in general, right? The Model 3, their only competition, because the price point is going to be BMW, Lexus, Mercedes, Audi. That's who the Model 3 is competing against. And people told us that. They told us that over and over and over again because of the price point that the Model 3 started at. And it's like, first off, the BMW, the Lexus, the Mercedes, the Audi, they're not even competition. They're not even in the same league. You can't even compare Model 3 sales to those guys. That's just a joke, okay? You can't even compare it. But not just that. The Model 3 is taking out all these other guys. So if you think it's just like, oh, they're coming after the near luxury category, no, they're taking out midsize, they're taking out compact, they're taking out everybody, okay? It doesn't matter. If you sell a car, an actual, you know, car, the Model 3 is coming for you, and it already has, and it's going to take out everybody. And what's going on in California, this is going to end up spreading around not just the United States of America, but around the world. And the Model 3 will take out more and more vehicles over time. And there will eventually be a day, and probably not in too distant of a future, where Model 3 is the #1 selling car in the United States of America. Not just the #1 selling in California. This will spread, and it's going to spread fast. fast. It's going to be amazing how fast this happens, okay? And this is so important for two more very core reasons. Okay? First is, we go ahead and we look at the Prius, okay? The Prius did not peak its numbers in terms of its sales numbers for 13 years. Priuses first hit the market in 1997, and it took till 2010 for Prius sales to peak, okay? That is when they actually peak. And why I pull up a chart like this is it's so important to understand that cars' best years for selling are not in year 1, not in year 2, not in year 3. Usually it takes 5, 10, sometimes 15 years of that car being built up for sales to finally peak. And some vehicles, it takes even longer than that. Some of these vehicles, they're still peaking. You know, it takes them 20, 30 years. You know, think about some of the huge established brands like a Ford and some of their brands, right? A GM, you know, those brands have just increased over time. And so to think that Model 3 has peaked right now or is going to peak anytime remotely soon is just kind of like a very ignorant statement to make in regards to just look at the facts and look at vehicles in general. They don't peak for a long time. It takes a decade plus for the sales to actually peak, and maybe at that point they start coming down a bit. So if we look at Tesla's sales, right? This is a vehicle that just started hitting the roads in 2017, right? But in very small numbers, 2018 was a real number. So if we're going to assume something similar to the Prius, right? We could assume the Model 3 maybe peaks in like 2030, maybe sometime around then, okay? So Model 3 has at least a decade, if not more than a decade in front of itself, where the sales will continue to increase almost every single year. And if you're thinking about Model 3 sales peaking right now or anytime soon, like some of these bears have been, right? Some of these bears thought Model 3 peaked like back in 2018. It was like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Like Model 3 is not peaking anytime soon. This baby is going to continue to roar. The sales are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you have something like the Shanghai Gigafactory in China just opened up. This puppy just opened up, and of course it gets hit by the Rona, a once in 100-year event right away, right? Whole factory has to shut down. And that just, you know, it stinks for the short term. But at the end of the day, when you think about any type of long-term growth opportunity, next 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, the Shanghai Gigafactory is a core reason why the Tesla Model 3 sales will continue to get up huge over the next decade or so. Not just Model 3, but Model Y as well. I know this video is obviously focused on Model 3, but Shanghai Gigafactory is going to be massive for Tesla company and massive for the Model 3. You have the Berlin Gigafactory, right? Right outside of Berlin that is now under construction. And this is going to be a game changer for Tesla sales in Europe in general, and specifically the Tesla Model 3. Remember, in Europe, people actually love passenger cars way more than us Americans, okay? In America, a lot of people love what? Trucks, right? Pickup trucks, huge segment, and SUVs. Cars are kind of like the third category really pushed to the side nowadays. Most folks, they want that pickup truck, they want that SUV. And so if you think like the sales are impressive in terms of Model 3, what it's putting up in the United States right now, or you look at somewhere like California, just wait to see what happens in Europe over the next 5 to 10 years once the Berlin Gigafactory is up and running, which will be up and running within the next year or two, ramping huge. And, you know, over a 5-10 year span, the numbers in Europe for Model 3 specifically are going to be extreme, okay? Extreme. And in my opinion, there's probably going to be a second China Gigafactory coming in the next 3 to 5 years. I think that Shanghai Gigafactory is going to ramp up over the next year, and probably within the next 3 years, I think it's going to reach like full max capacity. And I think they're going to probably build another whole separate Gigafactory in a much different region in China. I think that will end up happening. That might even serve some other parts of Asia in general, okay? So that's going to end up happening, in my opinion. So Model 3 sales, if you're thinking they're peaking, they're not peaking. They're not going to peak anytime soon, okay? And there's even more great news for the Tesla Model 3, even if that wasn't enough, okay? I got more for you, okay? The price cuts are just coming, right? 2 days ago is when Tesla announced the price cut for the Model 3. So the Model 3 was already taking out all these guys left and right? Now imagine when you add a price cut on top of that of $2,000 and that hitting the media and everybody saying, whoa, Tesla cut prices $2K, I gotta go get a Tesla now. Oh, it's much more attractive. Like when you just get all that media attention, it ends up helping out sales dramatically, okay? And keep in mind, the Model 3 was already taking out these guys huge at its prior selling price. So now imagine it's just got more competitive. And so that's why these other guys, all the other top dogs, the Civic and the Toyotas and things like that, good luck trying to compete with the Model 3. People are clear about what they want, and what they want is the Model 3, okay? Now, I just actually did a full in-depth video on financial education too a couple days ago, really in-depth on why that's such a game changer in terms of that price drop. So if you want to check out that, okay? But when you go ahead and you look at Tesla's valuation, so valuation as far as market capitalization, somewhere around $150 billion roughly, and a lot of folks will say, how can you justify a $150 billion market cap for this company, okay? That's what they'll say. They say, look at the numbers in the past. How can you begin to justify that number? And it is a large number, right? It's, dramatically larger than Ford. It's dramatically larger than GM, or, most of the other big manufacturers of autos out there. I think the only one that has a bigger market cap now than Tesla is, I believe it's Toyota, okay? So some people are going to say, well, Tesla's numbers are minuscule. Look at this company, look at that company, okay? Let's be very clear about this. The vehicles that will take Tesla to that valuation, and probably valuations much above $150 billion market cap over the next 5-10 years, are going to be the Model 3, the one we talked about here, Model Y, which is just starting to hit the roads. I've seen now 2 in Vegas, okay? It's just starting to hit the roads. People love SUVs. This is Tesla's first affordable SUV. And believe me, the Model Y is coming for everybody in the SUV category. It's not just going to come for, a certain price segment. No, everybody will consider that. No different than the Model 3 has come for everybody in every price category. The Model Y is going to represent that on the SUV side. So if you're thinking about United States sales, don't be surprised if the Model Y actually outsells the Model 3 over time. That's going to help Tesla get to that $150 billion valuation, if not much above that. And Cybertruck, okay? Cybertruck is going to be massive. And this is a truck that a lot of folks didn't even take serious at first, especially on Wall Street. And they better recognize, okay? Because when Cybertruck comes out, it might be a bigger game changer. And that's hard to say, but it actually might end up being a bigger game-changing product for Tesla in terms of valuation of this company than Model 3 and Model Y combined, okay? And that is huge. Look at the interest in Cybertruck. I mean, we're talking about, almost 7 million views. Almost 7 million views on that video that shows off the Cybertruck a little bit that was posted a day ago. That's a crazy number, man. That's a crazy number. And so vehicles like the Model S, the Model X, the Roadster, all those type of products, even the Semi, those products are great products, and they'll continue to, make Tesla money and bring in revenue. But those are that's little stuff for Tesla, okay? That's little numbers, okay? Little numbers. If you're thinking about the future of Tesla, where this company's going, and how it gets to a much bigger valuation, how it makes sense of the valuation it has today, it's on the back of those 3 products right there, Model 3, Model Y, and Cybertruck, okay? So this is absolutely phenomenal news if you're a fan of Tesla, if you're a fan of electric vehicles, or you're a Tesla shareholder, somebody like myself. This is absolutely amazing news. I mean, you can't get much better than news that just broke here a couple hours ago, and just wait to see what Model 3 does around the United States over, the next few years. It's going to be very, very exciting, and also worldwide. I can't wait to see the numbers that are put up over the next number of years, guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, let me know your opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.